Crosby, I want to get your thoughts and concerns of your fellow gaming commissioners about this redesign of MGM's casino plan. How concerned are you about whether or not this is a downsizing now?
Well, as you saw, we're going to look at this long and hard. I mean, on the one hand, it is a big change, but the thing that we care about the most is that each of the elements that they committed to is still there, essentially as conceived. We don't want to lose the retail, we don't want to lose the movie theater, we don't want to lose the housing, we don't want to lose the restaurants. If they can figure out a way to package all of those elements together in a way that gives us the same fundamental project that we originally agreed to, then we would be okay with it. But we won't know that until we really do some careful vetting of their proposals.
How come they cite skyrocketing costs as the reason for eliminating the tower, but say they're going to keep all of the other elements of the project and commit to the 2,000 construction jobs if their costs are, as like Mathis said, and they are skyrocketing? I mean, does the math add up in your mind here?
I haven't looked at it. I can't. We'll get the numbers, we'll review the numbers. You could hear Commissioner Zuniga, who's our financial guy. He's going to scrub those numbers really hard. I'm sure the city will scrub those numbers really hard. We'll see.
But you were unaware, apparently, until now, that costs on the project were escalating?
Well, no, we'd heard about this. We'd begun to hear about this over the last few weeks. They were intimating that they were going to have to talk to the city, that there were some issues. So we didn't have any idea of the scope or the magnitude of the solution or anything. But we had begun to hear that they were concerned about costs.
But you said it was a big surprise to you.
Well, at this stage of the game, as we began to pick this up, nobody's early warning system had detected it. Neither theirs, nor ours, nor the city's. And it turns out it was probably, something you're talking $100 million or something like that in escalating costs. That's a big change to happen quickly. And, probably somebody's system should have picked it up. Now, living in Boston, I know exactly what's happening to labor. And people don't want to work in Springfield. They want to work in the greater Boston market because the rates are higher. I know it's tough out there. But nobody had put two and two together yet, and that's probably something we should all think about.
This tower was the focal point. Did they lose some of that wow factor that they had in this project?
It's such a subjective thing. A tower is cool, but so is street activity. It's just a trade-off, and we made the point, Commissioner McHugh made the point, that change in and of itself isn't a bad thing. They have been very creative folks. They've come up with a fabulous idea. It's a unique project in the history of casino development. And if they can maintain the same fundamental features, fundamental elements of the project at a price they can handle and that the city can deal with, then we're going to be fine with that. So we'll scrub the numbers, but we're not going to react reflexively and say, you have to have a tower. Nothing says you have to have a tower. Towers are cool, but as I say, so is street activity.
Has MGM remained consistent on that $800 million figure throughout the whole process?
Yeah, they've had that minimum commitment. That's what they proposed to us in their final proposal. Their so-called RFA2 proposal was $800+ million. And that number, as a minimum commitment, has never changed.
When do you expect the commission to vote? When do you expect the commission to take a vote on this redesign plan?
I don't know, Ray. It sounds like it's going to be maybe a month or so to vet that, but we'll be following the city's lead in part on this. But I just don't know for sure.